The trailer just dropped, and somehow it raised more questions than it answered. Like seriously, are we finally getting answers, or is this show just playing with our emotions at this point? Because let's be honest, after that season 2 finale, nobody was okay. And now season 3 is already teasing chaos, tension, and wait, did you catch that look on Robbie's face? Yeah, that wasn't just stress. That was something deeper. Something darker. So what exactly is going on with him now? The new trailer wastes no time. It throws us straight back into the hospital, but everything feels off. The energy is different. The team doesn't look as connected as before. And honestly, it feels like everyone is carrying something they're not saying out loud. Which, let's be real, never ends well in this show. And then there's Robbie. Because of course there is. You thought he hit rock bottom in season 2. Think again. The trailer shows him quieter, more distant, almost like he's trying to disappear while still standing in the middle of everything. And that whole healing journey they hinted at. Yeah, it doesn't look peaceful. It looks messy. Complicated. And maybe even a little dangerous. But here's the thing that really got me, why does it feel like the team doesn't trust him anymore? There's this tension, like people are watching him instead of working with him. And after everything that happened, can you even blame them? Still, if Robbie completely loses control, what does that mean for everyone else? Now let's talk about Al-Hashimi, because her presence in the trailer. Chilling. She's not the same person anymore. You can see it in the way she carries herself, more guarded, more intense. And honestly, can you blame her after what happened? Trust was broken, and not in a small way. It feels like she's trying to prove something now. Not just to Robbie, but to everyone. But here's the real question, does she want redemption, or revenge? Because the way she looks at him in that one moment. Yeah, that's not forgiveness. That's unfinished business. And just when you think things couldn't get more complicated, the hospital itself seems to be falling apart. New patients, higher pressure, and somehow the stakes feel even bigger than before. It's like the show is saying, oh, you thought season 2 was intense. Cute. And can we talk about the absence of certain characters? Because something feels missing. Not completely gone, but definitely shifted. The dynamic isn't the same, and that alone changes everything. It's like the foundation of the team has cracks now, and those cracks are starting to show. But the biggest tease? The timeline. Season 3 is set after a time jump, which means a lot has already happened that we haven't seen yet. Relationships could be different. Decisions could have already been made. And we're just being thrown into the aftermath like we're supposed to catch up instantly. Honestly, that's kind of evil but also genius. And now let's get to what everyone actually wants to know, the release date. Because the trailer didn't just tease drama, it basically confirmed that the show is sticking to its pattern. Filming starts soon, everything lines up, and if nothing goes wrong, we're most likely looking at an early 2027 release. Yeah. That sounds far. But after seeing this trailer, waiting might actually be the hardest part. Because something big is coming. You can feel it. The tension, the silence, the way every character looks like they're about to break, it's all building towards something. But the real question is, when everything finally explodes, who's going to be left standing? And that's exactly where things start to get a little unsettling. Because if you slow down and really think about it, season 3 isn't just continuing the story, it feels like it's resetting the entire dynamic. Not in a clean, fresh start kind of way, but in that messy, everything is technically still there but nothing feels the same anymore kind of way. And honestly, that might be even worse. Take the team, for example. These are people who used to function like a unit, even when things got chaotic. But now, it's like everyone is operating on their own frequency. Conversations feel shorter. Reactions feel colder. And there's this unspoken tension, like one wrong move could set everything off. You know that feeling when a group is trying to act normal, but you can tell something is very wrong. Yeah, that. And then there's Dr. Mohan's situation. Technically, she's not gone. But also, she's not really there either. And let's be real, that's almost more frustrating than a full exit. Because how do you just continue like everything's fine, when someone that important is suddenly missing from the core dynamic? It leaves a gap. And gaps in this show, they don't stay empty for long. Someone always fills them, and not always in a good way. Which brings us to Dr. Parker Ellis. Now this is where things get interesting. Because the trailer makes it very clear, he's not just a background presence anymore. He's stepping in, stepping up, and possibly stepping on a few toes. And I don't know about you, but whenever a character suddenly gets more power in a show like this, it's never just for balance. It's for disruption. So the question is, does he stabilize the team, or quietly tear it apart? And while all of this is happening inside the hospital, the personal lives of these characters are still spiraling in the background. Jesse's storyline, still unresolved. And that's not something you just ignore. If he comes back, it's going to bring a whole new wave of emotional weight. And if he doesn't, that silence is going to say a lot more than any dialogue ever could. Then there's Javadi. After everything she's been through, the idea of her choosing psychiatry actually makes sense.